Happy Identity Crisis Project today. Vlog number 2 is coming through. That's what I do. That's what I tell myself each and every day for the last year. What is it that I do? What is it that I do? What's my mission? What's my journey? What's my passion? What's the point of being here? What's the point of waking up? What's the point of going through the day? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Sometimes I feel like I'm just going in a circle, an infinite circle, an infinite circle, a Mobius strip type of thing. Around and 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 around. And I want off. I want off. I want off. I want to share. 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 Oh, the story goes a little something like this. So, hello. My name is Tim. It's a pleasure to meet you. It really, really is. Thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, this first 15 seconds, I adore you. I really applaud you. Bravo, bravo, bravo to you. Wow. Okay, this has been hard. It's been up and down. I got 3 videos, I think, on my YouTube channel. I start with a lot of momentum, a lot of gusto, a lot of energy, and then as it goes until I come back and do this video. And as I look myself at the viewfinder, hello. Anyway, the point of this, the point of this channel is to celebrate you, who you are, your individual self, your individuality, all the things that make you, you. And it's doing it through me sharing my story and my daily life and the daily pains, the growing pains that I go through to find my true authentic self and to arrive at the destination of doing what I naturally feel like I should be doing. And I'm going to rewind the tape. Take it from the beginning. I was very shy. I was very introverted as a kid, and that set me up for, I don't want to say failure, but it definitely set me up for like a path. I was afraid to talk to people. I was afraid to share who I was. And while I did have friends, but I definitely just had a very small group of friends. Very afraid to be judged. And I didn't want anybody to know who I was because I didn't want people to make fun of me or judge me or say hurtful things. And they did anyway because I dressed in such a way. I kind of dress, I don't know what you want to call it, but I dress in a way that gets attention. And I got attention all the way through middle school, high school. I got picked on, bullied. I couldn't stand up for myself. I was just I was just there. I was just there to take abuse, I feel like. And nobody taught me how to stand up for myself, and it was just bad. It was just bad. In high school, I started to get a little bit more assertive and kind of establish a presence, but I still was bullied, still shy, still very introverted, still unwilling to share and reveal the interworkings of the mind and my brain and, you know, all the things that made me me. I did have girlfriends, and I had fun, but it just wasn't like, it wasn't wide open. It wasn't like, yeah, this is me, this is who I am, take it or leave it. It was like always me kind of like gauging and measuring, you know, how much should I share? I need to be perfect. So, you know, everything was very measured in the fact that I felt like I needed to be perfect in what I said, how I looked, how I showed up, and I was insecure in who I really was, and so I just tried to fit in, so I just became this very generic person, like, and I wasn't generic. That's the thing. I wasn't generic, but I just became this very generic, transparent person that really nobody knew anything about. And yeah, nobody really cared. And that didn't really bother me, but it bothered me that I couldn't be open and share and be authentic. And so I've been chasing that dragon forever. And going into college, I picked the perfect major, electrical engineering. I could just hide behind the books like nobody. I'm always studying. It gives me a perfect excuse to say, no, I can't do that. I can't do this. Hey, Tim, you want to come out with us tonight? No, I got to study. Hey, do you want to come over and hang out? No, I got to read this book. Hey, do you want to do this thing? No, because I have to, insert some other manufactured reason. So I said no so much. It just was ridiculous. It really was ridiculous. I was just so uncomfortable in my own skin. It was insane. And so I didn't have a lot of really good relationships through college. I was just studying all the time and, hiding out behind books and classes and homework. And then I pursued my MBA after that. And there, I started to become a little bit more secure in who I was. I had a really cool girlfriend, a really cool girlfriend. We dated for like 2.5 years. She was super cool. I remember her being like, she was a little older than me, and she had all these friends. And so it kind of gave me allowed me to aspire to meet the level. Like I know I need to show up more if I'm going to stay in this relationship, because I can't be the non-talkative person. Like she was, had a lot of friends and there was a lot of conversation. So I needed to show up. And that kind of pushed me a little bit to be more open and just share and talk and conversate and be what I was. But there was still this overriding layer of perfectionism still weighing on me and insecurity weighing on me. And then that relationship fizzled out for whatever reason. And then I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I took a business law class during my MBA program and learned about patent law. And I'm like, you know what? I could write. I love technology. Perfect. And yep, I went to law school, and it was the most frightening thing in my life. Every day was like on the edge of a nervous breakdown, because you're getting called on in the class by the professor, and they are just drilling you with questions for like 40 minutes or whatever it is. And you're just the center of attention, the focus. And I was just petrified every day. It was insane. Like I still don't believe how I made it through. I was so insecure. I was so scared. I was so anxious, riddled with anxiety, everything. And I remember coming home on break, like Thanksgiving break, and just throwing myself on the floor at my parents' house and saying, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. I'm having a nervous breakdown. I'm having a nervous breakdown. Don't make me go back. And my dad said, you know what? Well, you can quit. And I was like, hell no, I'm not quitting. Absolutely not. So I went back and I finished it. But man, it took every ounce of every fiber and every cell of my being to get through it. It was horrible. And that's how I know I can do anything, by going through that. That was like the absolute pinnacle of a litmus test for me. If I can do that, I can do anything. So, but again, buried in a book, saying no all the time, never really building good relationships. And it was just a struggle. Like I was still not sharing my personality. I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to be accepted. Now I'm trying to be accepted in the most confining, rigid construct, these attorneys. Like I'm trying to be accepted. So now I got to show up with the tie and the suit jacket and just be all very proper and perfect again. And so this overriding theme of perfectionism now just gets amplified. And I thought that's what I had to do to be successful. Like I got to be that. I have to be that. Meanwhile, in my head, for all these years, it's been more wild and crazy and fluid and just self-expression and doing what you feel is right. It was so central to my being. And Dennis Rodman was a big, I don't want to say mentor, but he was definitely somebody out there that I looked up to. Hey, do you. whatever you want to be, you can be that, and you don't have to apologize for it. So that's what's going in my head. Meanwhile, I'm dressing up in a suit and tie and just trying to fit in, and that caused me to retreat even more. And so it got to the point where I was coming into work at a law firm, doing my work and leaving. Like, I wouldn't even come out of my office because I was afraid that I would say something or do something that wasn't within that rigid construct of what a lawyer should be, because I'm not that conventional. I'm very much outside the box, creative, and there are no limits. That's my mentality. But I really, I had to physically lock myself in my office to keep myself going forward in that construct of a conservative lawyer that comes on, does his work, and is just analytical and does everything correctly and perfect. It was crazy. I did that for 10 years. And it just, one day, and it had been building and building and building. And I was always anxious. I always had this anxiety. I was always afraid, insecure, scared. And so I spent 10 years trying to figure out, why am I so anxious? Why am I so scared? Why am I so afraid? Why can't I just be me? And I saw a litany of doctors throughout that 10 years while I'm an attorney. Every day after work for 10 years, I'd be on the computer let's see, anxiety, return. Oh boy, okay. And trying to find a doctor that could help me was running into a brick wall, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again and again and again, because they just didn't understand it. All they want to do is here's your antidepressant, it'll fix you. And it's no, because I had just come out of another relationship with somebody that was diagnosed bipolar. And so I knew all about these medications, and I knew that was not for me. So I had to keep pushing and pushing, trial and error, different doctors, for 10 years, trying to find what the deal was. And, through that persistence and perseverance, I found this doctor, a Russian guy. And I remember calling him just out of the blue. I looked him up on a website and called him, and here's the situation. I'm always feeling anxious. My energy's off. Just something just doesn't feel right. And he's I think it can help you. Come in, blah, blah, blah. And so he writes up this blood draw order. I have 14 vials of blood taken and probably 40 different tests, the most blood I've ever given, the most comprehensive blood panel that I've ever had in my life. And even the phlebotomist is yeah, this is a lot of blood. Yeah. I don't know if you have any blood left. But the good news is that through that process, the doctor was able to assess the fact that my cholesterol was low, really low. You want it under 200, but you don't want it at 100, you want higher than that. And I was right around 100. And so right away he told me, Tim, you got to start eating more fatty foods. He had me drinking heavy whipping cream, eating steaks, anything with fat, just anything with fat, lard, whatever. So I was eating butter straight, I was just bacon, so I was eating anything and everything. My cholesterol did not raise at all. So, what I didn't know is that cholesterol is the foundation for all of your hormones. So if your cholesterol isn't at the right amount, your hormones aren't going to be in the right amount. They're going to be out of whack. And that's what was happening to me. My testosterone was way low, DHEA, my vitamin D3 was below the lowest end of the range. And it was just I was in bad shape. And he got me on these therapies, and gradually, I'd say over the course of a month and a half, things shifted. My personality started to become, instead of more inward and withdrawn, it was more out front and center. And it was noticeable, it was profound. People that I work with, my assistant at work, absolutely noticed right away, because I wasn't staying confined in my little office, like my prison. I was out talking to people. Every morning I would come in. In the past, when I would come in, I would almost like try to duck and dodge people. I would try to find the quickest way into my office. But after I got on the therapy, I started saying hello to everybody, making a point to say hello and just checking in. And so it was a real profound difference. And I can't thank that doctor, Mr. Kopiev. Shh. He is a big part of my journey and my just transformation into this, being able to record this video. I could have never done this without him, without his help. And it's just been like a dramatic change. And what it's allowed me to do is take the person that's been in my mind that I knew I could be, to then actually step into that and be that out in real life, in public, in the real world, and just be comfortable in my own skin. So it's been a huge shift, and I'm so passionate about that. And so the last couple years, now that I'm, pretty comfortable, now it's just reworking the mind, because I spent so much time I spent so much time withdrawn and inward. My brain still kind of wants to retreat. And there I go again, My brain still retreats from time to time back into that safe, confined spot, withdrawn, away from people. And I'm working through that. And so these ebbs and flows that I see, where I'm very outgoing and want to share, and I'll see like a period of a couple of days where I'm kind of retreating. And usually it has to do with stress. Like when I get stressed, I start to retreat inward, and I don't want to share that. And so that's really the limiting factor now. But I so love sharing. I so love allowing myself to be open so people can see what's going on with me. So maybe it will help them move forward in their life, and to celebrate individuality, who you are, however you want to show up is what you want to show up as is fine. Like, we should not be judged, and it's unacceptable to be judged by others, and it's unacceptable to live a life that's confined by the judgment of others. And that's the absolute pinnacle of the topic of my mission that I want to spread to the world, that you can't allow other people to put this box around you, build these walls up around you, so you can't enjoy life, so you can't do what you want, so you can't dress how you want, can't talk the way you want, can't do the things that you want. We have to live our lives first and foremost, and let the chips fall where they may. If people can't accept you, then you know what? I can't accept them. See ya. Press the delete button, you're gone. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm up to. That's the story. That's the story. I spent a lot of years hiding behind books. And in the meantime, in my mind, I'm like, why can't you just be who you are in front of people? Just share your energy, share your light. And that's what I'm doing now. So that's like the beauty of all this. Like I am living the avatar of who I was in my mind all those years. I'm living it. And so it just blows my mind, and I just want to shout it from the rooftops and tell people, like, if there's something you feel like is not right, like you feel like you're stuck behind a wall and you're trying to break through, like, there's so many things out there. There's the right doctor. There's other forms of help. There's, it's taking a chance too. Like, you still have to push yourself. You still have to break through the limiting beliefs that you hold for yourself, and feeling that vulnerability and feeling uncomfortable. It's still part of the process. So there's a lot of different things to, transformation and moving forward and growing. And I feel like I've gone through it all. I really have. Yeah, I joined Toastmasters too. After I got my health right, Toastmasters, I'm giving speeches. I was horrified of public speaking. Like, I was doing all these things now, and I'm continuing to do all these things. Doing interviews on social media. I just got invited to be kind of a reoccurring guest on a morning show. It just, these things would have never been possible had I given up on myself, had I relented and just settled. I had to keep pushing for 10 years, every day, coming home from work, on a computer, trying to find medications, trying to find doctors, trying to figure myself out, like why I wasn't feeling just centered. Like I just felt so anxious and always just so off balance. And there were answers, but so many people give up. They relent and they settle, and I can never settle. I just can't. I'll spend my last breaths, my last days fighting to get what I want rather than settling, and that's just who I am. With that, I've been wanting to record this video for a really long time. I am on a mission. I'm on a journey, and there's no stopping me. I'm going to get more content out on this channel. Trust that. I'm going to be going to Florida next week. That is going to be amazing, and it's going to be up on the channel too. So this is where I'm headed, is just really sharing my day-to-day, my struggles, and my journey to where I'm headed. And it's a lot of fun to be Tim these days. Those last 10 years, not so much, but these days it's a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.